welcome to Brands Hatch for rounds 8, 9 and 10 of the Mini Challenge 2011. Last time out, Chris Knox dominated on the Grand Prix circuit here at Brands, and he did the same again yesterday on the Indy track, where they're racing again today. It didn't pan out quite so well, though, for some of the rest of the field.
Well, after a day of rain and showers, the first race of the weekend got underway under breezy but dry conditions, albeit on a very slippery circuit. It was Chris Knox who made the jump from the line as the rest of the field surged towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. So as Knox moved clear of Sam Osborne, in the background Martin Depp and Chris Paniatu had an enormous accident en route towards Paddock Hill Bend, and then as they went through the first corner, it all kicked off with cars being caught out by cold tars, a slippery track, and spinning in every direction.
Well, yeah, the sun came out and it looked as if it was going to be a nice race for the afternoon, but we couldn't have been so wrong, really. We got off the lights and then it was the concertina effect, unfortunately, and I was on the outside with nowhere to go, and two of the other cars come across and we all hit the barrier, and I came off worst.
Mini Challenge is very competitive, isn't it? I mean, it really does take guts.
Yeah, it's exactly as it says. It's a challenge, tough challenge as well as, but it's good, close racing, very competitive. But yeah, it's just one of these weekends where, with the weather and everything else, it's really putting everything on edge.
Unfortunately, Martin Depp needed some assistance getting out of the car, but was okay, though Saturday's race was abandoned.
So all the cars are back on the grid, bar one after yesterday's incident. George and Lee Allen, father and son, third and fourth on the grid. And of course, Chris Knox in front. Can anyone beat this man on this track here at Brands? It's the Indy circuit today. Sam Osborne will be hot on his heels.
Thanks, Mima. This promises to be an absolutely cracking race, with lining up on pole position Chris Knox alongside him with youngster Sam Osborne. His father and son on row 2, Lee and George Allen, then Jason Richardson, the dog winner from Silverstone, 5th, and Chris Paniatu rounding out the top 6. Luke Cordell should go well from 7th. The assembled mass of cars ready and waiting here for the off. It's the John Cooper Works class to the front, it's the club class to the rear, and away we go. It's a great start from Chris Knox, and look at that from Jason Richardson trying to squeeze through the field. Luke Cordell's well away too as they surge towards Paddock Hill Bend. First time contact in the midfield, and off goes Gary Bristow. It's Stuart Lyons who spins in the middle of the circuit. Kevin O'Connor avoids the incident, although some of the club class cars a little bit delayed as Andrew Bailey has to spin down through Paddock. So the midfield delayed as Bristow clambers from the car unharmed. But look at this, fighting at the front of the field. It's Osborne who makes the move for the lead in towards Graham Hill Bend for the first time. It's the Allen in the mix as well, as we've got a spin from George Allen. He tags Arthur Forster, and Kevin O'Connor's involved as well. And O'Connor goes off into gravel and over and out from Kevin O'Connor. And the Mini goes onto its roof. The red flag, perhaps unsurprisingly, flies with the drivers being slightly caught out by these slippery conditions on what is a very cold and blustery day. And let's watch the action at Graham Hill Bend once more. So Richardson has a grandstand view of it all going wrong behind, and Kevin O'Connor, the innocent victim here, into the gravel and onto his roof. The roll cage doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and Kevin walking away uninjured. So plenty of drama in these early stages, but look at this. During the delay, the clouds are coming in, the rain is coming down. It is going to be a very treacherous restart as the cars head off on their green flag lap on what has now become an increasingly slippery circuit. It's going to make strategy key here, because these drivers are on slicks because it was sunny when the race originally started. So these conditions are going to be even more challenging. It's got a problem there for Roger Bates. He fires up at the rear of the field, is into the pit lane. Comes the Allen, also Jason Richardson and Luke Cordell. Drama before the race has even started here.
After that first lap incident, the cars are coming in for a restart. It's also just been declared a wet race, so they're coming in to change their slicks to wets.
So those grooved wet tyres coming on to almost the whole of the field. We've got a slender grid of cars ahead of the field. The John Cooper Works cars, they're on slicks. The club class cars, of course, always run on treaded tyres, so this rain is of no concern to them. So away we go. It's Knox who leads it, and from Sam Osborne, and it's Chris Paniatu from George Allen. So that leading quartet turned through Paddock Hill Bend, and Knox, well, back in June here he walked on water, although a wet track with slick tyres is going to be somewhat more challenging propositions. Dean Raymond who leads the club class, as work is well underway here in the pit lane. As look at this, Lee Allen is the first to get those fresh new wets on. He comes out on track and he's not lost a lap to the race leaders. This could be critical. as Chris Smith gets those wets as well. Going through to complete that one, and Chris Knox peels into the pit, so Knox says enough's enough after that one, and it's only Chris Paniatu and George Allen who continue. Everybody else peels off into the pit lane, so we've got Paniatu and Allen. Then the next car through is Dean Raymond leading the club class as Richardson goes back out of the race. David Ogden the same. The team's hard at work here in the pit lane as Paniatu says enough is enough. He has also changed to those wets. So now, in the lead of the race, it is Dean Raymond in the club class car, Grant Wharton-Eales fighting the two of them on those treaded tyres. Haven't needed to pit in, as the rest of them have peeled off. Then it's Raymond in a new car for this weekend who is leading from the runaway club class leader at Wharton-Eales, as Raymond has a big moment at Graham Hill Bend, and Wharton-Eales is surely going to go through up the inside here of Dean Raymond as they head along towards Surtees. Wharton-Eales in the white car goes through, moves into the lead of the race here from Dean Raymond. Now what has Dean Raymond got in response as they turn through Surtees? The answer is a bit of a look to the inside at Clearways, as look at this rain coming down. These are unbelievably difficult conditions here for the drivers, as the race leaders and club class leaders, you don't have to say that in a mini challenge, lead onto the Ram straight. But look at this, here is Lee Allen. He was the first man out in the John Cook Works class onto those wet tyres. He's already up into third place in the race overall, and he's homing in here on the two club class men at the head of the field. So that decision to boldly pit at the end of the formation lap is very much working here in Lee Allen's favour, as he is scything through the rest of the pack. And up into second place goes Lee Allen, around the outside of Dean Raymond at Druids, and Dean has absolutely no response to that. The more powerful John Cook Works class car, of course, is going to be able to side through. As Raymond runs wide at Graham Hill Bend, Wharton-Eales moves aside. He allows Lee Allen to go through, because in terms of the championship, at Wharton-Eales doesn't need to fight Lee Allen here for championship points. Wharton-Eales just needs to keep Dean Raymond and the rest behind him. So Lee Allen, this is his home track, he's got a huge number of supporters here at Brands Hatch today to cheer him and Dad George on. There's Luke Cordell, who won one of the races, Alton Park, back in May in wet conditions, trying to make good his recovery up through the field, as is Chris Knox. Now Knox is a lap down here, he's just unlapping himself because he pitted once the race had started, so the rest of them were busy racing as his team changed those tyres. Sarah Parsons and Ben Gridley having a good battle here. That's for fourth in the club class. Third in club class is Patrick Mortimer. That's the car just to the right of your shot there. And then it's Gridley in fourth, Sarah Parsons in fifth. Super battle this one, as Lee Allen is about to be unlapped here by Chris Knox, but again Lee can afford to let Chris go, because although Chris has got the pace, Lee Allen has got a lap on him, and he knows that with the time remaining there's no way that Chris Knox is going to gain a whole lap on Lee Allen. So through goes Knox, he unlaps himself as they climb up towards Druids. Lee Allen, Trucker Line car, looking to claim another victory in what is proving to be a very successful graduation to the John Cook Works class for the 2010 champion. He won that in an S-Class car. The step up in power has not deterred him one bit this year. He is putting together a very successful season and always seems to be able to bring that car home to a good result at the end of the race, which is what is so crucial when you're going about defending your championship crown. So the two men who really have been the class of the field in terms of pace in this race exit Clearways, accelerate onto the Ram straight once more as Knox tries to move away, as Ben Gridley is liking these conditions now. He barges Dean Raymond aside out of Druids, so Gridley goes up now into second in the club class in number 44 machine. It's Dean Raymond who drops back down into third. It's Mortimer who is then back there fourth in class, as scything through is Chris Knox. So he is now overtaking these drivers for actual race position. He unlapped them only a few laps ago, but such is the pace of Chris Knox, he's scything past them once more. The Scottish driver relishing these wet conditions, but must surely be ruining the decision not to pit for wet tyres at the end of the formation lap. As a bit of a moment there for Chris Paniatu as he goes through Graham Hill Bend. No problem there, just a little bit of a slide for him, as Lee Allen picks his way past Ben Gridley. So Gridley second in club class, taking a wide swooping line down through Paddock Hill Bend. He wants to get on the power nice and early here to carry that run up the hill, but he goes off across the grass and bang into the tyres for Ben Gridley. That is a big hit for Ben in the 44 Mini. Let's hope he's okay. The marshals running to the scene immediately. The race continues as Allen puts a lap on at Wharton-Eales, leading the club class now by quite some margin over Dean Raymond, second in that club class. So Lee Allen is really turning a masterclass here in wet weather driving, but the red flag has come out, and that's because unfortunately Ben needs a little bit of medical assistance there. There's a big impact into the barriers, so we're well over 3/4 race distance here. This is going to give us the final result with Lee Allen claiming the victory. So here is the classification from what has been a topsy-turvy race, with Allen taking the lead from Luke Cauthen in second, Jason Richardson in third, then Walton Eels coming home fourth overall, Chris Knox in fifth, and Dean Raymond in sixth. In terms of the class results, but it's Lee Allen who won the John Cooper Works class from Luke Cauthen and Jason Richardson, and then the club class at Walton Eels claiming yet another victory from Dean Raymond and the Rainmeister Patrick Mortimer. Well, the ever boisterous mini challenge community giving well-deserved and vocal support to the drivers on the podium. It has been an incredible race in very challenging conditions, and the trophies and champagne are very well deserved.
Lee, congratulations. I guess you've got to be really happy with your team as well for changing to wet.
Well, it is a team effort, so yeah, Sussex Road and Race, Trucker Line Racing. We had a fantastic first race. It was a bit of a do or die moment, but on the pace lap, on the green flag lap, it was really slippery, and I was like, well, they was all trying to warm their tyres up, and I could see the spray coming up from in front of them, from in front of me. I thought, there's one option here, it's got to be wets, let's go for it.
And currently leading the championship in club class. Now, you're obviously used to winning, but you were really up there at the front of the pack because of all those changes at the start.
Yeah, I mean, when the rain came down, we wasn't really sure what to do with the tyres, but Accelerate did a great job setting the car up and making the right decision. But as soon as I got in front of Dean, I thought, this is it, we've got to go, and just kept it in front of him.
So another dramatic race from Mini Challenge. Join us after the break for race 3, where, as you can see, the weather conditions continue to be changeable. Who knows what will happen? Join us then.